Boom. And we are rocking. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank y'all for being here. We are cranking off episode 2 of our Jewel sessions tonight. I'm extremely excited because I don't know if y'all see, but what I see is that I have a panel of dope women who I know do amazing things in the music industry. It is March. It is Women's History Month. I've been calling it International Women's Month all month because I just decided I was taking over and crashing the course on things. But we are here. My name is Yoko. I am the founder and CEO of Yoko Entertainment, and I have created Jewel Sessions. My reason for creating this whole series was to help expose different people in the entertainment industry of different roles. So what I've seen that happen in the industry quite often is people always want to grow a team. They always want to expand. They do not know the roles of people. They don't know the responsibilities, and it's a lot of blurred lines. And I feel like we have a lot of specialists in this industry who do what they do well, and I want to make sure that we highlight them. So tonight, and specifically for tonight, I wanted to make sure that we highlight some dope women in honor of Women's Month. And for me, just knowing that I'm biased, I feel like if you got a woman on your team, you're going to win by default, for real, for real. But I also know it's true. So I decided to make sure I share some of my friends with you all. So I have Miss Nichole Wagner, Miss Joya from the Friendship Society, and Miss EP Ciara, who is my dog and my sister for real, who does some of everything with it. So again, ladies, I thank y'all for being here tonight. I want to make sure that not only we give y'all flowers, but we give y'all platform, y'all opportunity to, excuse my French, talk y'all shit. So without further ado, I would love for you all to introduce yourself. If anybody want to volunteer and go first, so be it. Let us know what you do, where you from, where, what you've been doing in the industry. And let's just start off with a crazy icebreaker. What's your favorite genre of music as well, type thing. So if anybody want to go first, y'all can. And if not, I'm going to just pick one of y'all.
I'll go first.
Boom, let's do
it. Hey, so thank you so much. First and foremost, thank you. I'm honored that you would have me on this esteemed panel tonight. So I appreciate you for having me. And my name is Joya Owens. Where am I from? I'm from Motown, Detroit City, Alligator City, however you want to call it, the D, as we so lovingly refer to it as. And I am a songwriter, singer, 20-year veteran in the music and entertainment business. I'm also the founder of the Friendship Society, and we help artists understand publishing, understand their intellectual property, understand ownership. And the mission of the company is to create more musicians that are millionaires in this millennium, because that's what we need. What is my favorite genre? Hands down, it's going to be hip hop, because if I see Tribe Called Quest still today, even if I see them on TV, I'm going to lose it. So there's that.
I love it. I love it. Who want to go next? All right, Nichole, let's do it.
All right. I'm Nichole Wagner. I'm based in Austin. I've been a songwriter and musician for the past almost 10 years, and most recently have launched a website to help other women in music connect and to find people when you're looking for somebody to book for, whether it be a studio session or anything else. You can find women in your area that do the thing you're looking for.
I love it. I love it. Miss EP Ciara. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Sorry about that, you all. My name is Ciara. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. I currently reside in Orlando. I do some of everything. My favorite playground is the background. So I do event planning, event management. I also do booking artists from underground up and coming artists. And currently my role, I'm currently at Essence Ventures as the executive assistant for the chief of staff, talent, and diasporic engagement. And I'm also a founder of a nonprofit organization that focuses on children that lost their parents to unforeseen circumstances in the state of Florida. I just like to do everything. I like to help people in the background. And lastly, my favorite genre of music will be hip hop or R&B. I'm torn in between.
Definitely, definitely. Well, ladies, thank you so much. We are looking forward to getting some of your wisdom tonight, and we're going to kick it right off. So I'm going to jump around a little bit tonight on different little subjects, if you would, and hopefully we'll get your little wisdom on it if you don't mind. So first, I want to kick off being that it's Women's Month, right? So it's Women's Month. We have a lot of women in the industry. Now, I'm going to flip it a little bit because typically we hear about some of, or mostly the issues that we face as being women in the industry, right? And I feel like we know a lot of these things. But what do you feel like have been some of your benefits that you've gotten in the industry as being a woman? Anybody want to go first? Thinking about it? We normally don't get asked this question. That's why I did it on purpose. It's normally more the negative side.
I can go. I enjoy working with men. That's really my preference. I don't mind working with women either, but I feel like the men respect me. It's always good to have a good face card and make sure that, you know, you demand your respect. As long as you demand your respect, you don't do anything out of the ordinary, that you are basically or take advantage of certain situations because you are a woman, you're gonna be respected, and the business and everything else will come as is. It's not gonna, I don't think being a woman has handicapped me in any type of way. If anything, I think it has helped me a lot.
Love that, love that. Nichole or Joya?
Yeah, I think the best thing about it has been just being able to connect with really all of there is a much bigger community of women in music than we sometimes feel like there is. And especially in the folk scene, it is getting much more kind of equalized across the genre. And especially in the industry, I think most of my industry mentors are women.
I agree. I would have to agree with that. I would say that I love to see us empowering one another more. I think that's super dope, and that we can find ourselves in these collectives where we are helping one another. Like even if we may be in the same vein, you know, I see a lot of women being connectors, trying to make sure they can kind of forge pathways so that we can progress. I love that because that kind of dispels this notion that we can't work together, or, you know what I'm saying, that we're catty. I love it that I see us trying to pull one another along. And I would have to say, I'm gonna piggyback off of Ciara. I don't find it that it's a handicap. I find it that it's empowering on both sides. So I love it.
Great answers, ladies. Great answers. All right, let's see where we going next. So I feel like we've had an evolution of music just in the industry overall, especially these last couple of years, right? How do you guys see music has evolved specifically for a woman from, I guess, maybe let's say 10 years ago to now, where I feel like at this point, women are kind of dominating music on both sides, whether it's artistic or it's kind of executive. Where do you guys see that change may have come from? Have you all seen the change? What do you feel about it? Give me a little insight on that.
Definitely seen a change. I think everybody's seen a change, in that we could see women having more freedom as far as, you know, lyrical content is concerned. And, you know, even though it may not be my preference, I love that it exists, because I feel like we've seen it so much from the other side. Like we've seen it from men. We've listened to a lot of hip hop. We've listened to a lot of lyrics, you know, be it that the lyrics are risque or no. So I feel like now when we see this rise of women and they are just free to express themselves, like visually, lyrically, artistically, I love it. I think it's dope.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, I agree. I think that right now, you know, I'm gonna just say it this way. We got tired of hearing the negative and like the different things that the men was talking about the last few years. There's not too many that you can sit here and say they're empowering a woman or they're supporting the woman. It was complete opposite, and it was just a lot of just bad music that's been coming out the last few years that is it is not it's not representing the community that it should. It got our kids doing things that they shouldn't be doing, which I'm not saying this has been happening for years, from trap music and stuff like that, but recently it's just been really bad the last few years. So seeing women being more artistic and more creative and just from different lanes, whether it's management, like Yoko does everything, for example, and she pushed everyone, but I think that right now is needed. And I'm thankful, to be honest with you. I'm thankful for the change and the transition currently right now.
Definitely agree. Thankful for the change, because somebody had to do it, if you would. Nichole, how do you feel about everything going on?
I think just really echoing what's already been said. There's so much available to us now, and the internet, and especially this change where we've been forced to connect more online, and it's no longer weird to just reach out to somebody you've never met and be like, hey, can we spend 15 minutes just chatting about what we both do? It's really opened a lot of doors.
Yeah.
It's literally how we got in this situation right here with all of us. All right, so I want to switch it up just a little bit. Let's talk about how this music industry is in shambles right now. I don't know if anybody else sees it, but I'm not gonna say I never thought I would see it like this, but I feel like it happened and it fell down real quick, right? So based on what you guys see, because everybody does something different, and I feel like everybody sees it through a different lens or some different glasses, if you would. What are your thoughts on the current state of today's music industry, and what is one trend that you're starting to see right now that is kind of exciting you, if you would?
I'll take it. Yeah, a lot of changes, and I know we know because we share each other's sentiments on our on our platforms very often. It's exciting to see, actually, and maybe that's like the analyst side of me talking, but I feel like it's exciting to see because technology is pushing us forward. That's just where we are in the world, right? So the trend that I see now is that people are focused more on their publishing, which they should be. and then I see that people are more focused on direct to consumer, which they should be as well. You and I know that's a model that really works. And it works well. And I'm also glad to see that we have more people that are out there in real time showing us like, oh yeah, not only does it work, but this is how you can diversify it. Like it really, it's really on some Joyner Lucas type. I've changed my life. I've changed my family's life. So yeah, those are my thoughts, but I'm still gonna wait so I can comment on the universal information. I want to talk about it.
Let's do it right after this question. Let's just jump right into it, right? All right, so Nichole, Ciara, how do you guys feel about 2024's state of the music, if you would, and any trends that you're seeing, whether it's from the folk side on Nichole, whether it's from the booking side, if you would, from Ciara, as far as where you think the industry is going to go?
Well, for me, booking has been let me take that back. Booking has been slow for me. I'm not sure by anyone else. Booking, the reason why I say that, one, artists are asking for extremely too much money that they're not worth, which is causing the promoters and the investors and people that just want to take a chance, or even people that has been doing promotions for years, it's causing them to unfortunately not make the money, or they're taking real deal chances right now. And so on my side, booking for the artists that I have booked prior, which usually you can have a sold out show and the promoter go home happy and they trying to book the artist again next month. I remember in 2012 when Rich Homie Quan came out and Future was coming out. You really couldn't tell which one is which because they were so similar. But here in Orlando, Rich Homie Quan was getting booked literally every 45 days. And every 45 days, everyone went home. He got his money, promoter got his money, everybody, the club made their money, everybody's happy. Now we can't do that because these artists want so much money and it's causing just mayhem. It's just, if you notice, I'm not sure where you are located, but we're in Florida. It's been real quiet. Like, it's not really too many concerts. We're here in Orlando. I can't tell you when last time I went to well, I just went to one last Saturday, but most of the performances didn't even show up. So it was kind of like, so that's on the booking side. As far as where I think music is going, I'm loving the fact that the men are loving the ladies again. Even the young boys, you got the Skilla babies, you have the Rod 49s. They may talk crazy a little bit, but they telling the baby, I love you. Baby, you're beautiful. And I'm loving that right now. And I think that we need that more so versus shoot your mama, kill your daddy, smoke your brother. I hate that. So I think the music is transitioning to a different direction on that aspect, but on the booking side for me, it's been extremely slow.
Nichole, what's it looking like on the folk side?
Yeah, slow. It's much more difficult to get people to come to shows. It's much more difficult to hear back from venues about booking shows.
Yep.
People, I think, have hit a weird overload in a lot of ways. I know I don't go out anywhere near as much as I used to pre-COVID. It's still kind of out there, and that's an unpopular opinion, but it's also scientific fact. So that's definitely a place things have changed. On the flip side of that, I think that there's a lot of opportunities that, again, didn't exist. I think TikTok is a great place to connect, to find other artists that are doing similar things or really different things, and to kind of make those friendships and relationships really deep without ever having to meet in person. I met several people this South by that I had never met outside of TikTok in person, and it was like meeting an old friend. That doesn't exist in the same way that, like, on Facebook or Instagram, I haven't had that experience where it's just like, oh wow, I feel like I've known you forever and we really are friends in the same way. I think that's a great place to look towards finding new fans as well, though.
Definitely using the digital real estate to bring the people out in real life type thing. So this is a perfect catalyst. So speaking of TikTok, right? And I don't know how much you guys maybe used it or how much you don't use it, how much you use it to advertise. TikTok is in shambles. Universal Music is in shambles. Every single label is laying people off. I'm gonna start with Joya because I know how she feels passionate about this, but just what's your thoughts, sis? How you feeling about just everything with this is why I keep saying the music industry is in shambles, because we made more money than we've ever made in 2023 in the industry, but then everybody got laid off. That don't make no sense to me.
Right.
That's across the board too, though. Like, that's not just with the record labels, a lot of entertainment companies. I mean, I think that right now, me personally, I think when COVID hit, a lot of companies received a lot of money, and a lot of people received money and they used the money, and now it's gone. And the companies really don't know what to do. I don't see companies lay people off, and they don't hire in that position. They just find somebody else within the company and, make it work or whatever. But I really don't know. 2024 is quiet right now. I was talking to my boy Pito, Tom G manager, and he also manages YS Baby right now. I was talking to him yesterday, and he was like, money is fucked up right now. Like, it's just, and he's in Tampa, his wife is in Atlanta, Skylar's in California. So he's seeing it from different angles. And honestly, I really don't know what has happened, but I know, I mean, I was going to tell you about the venues. When it comes to, like, for example, hip hop events, these insurance companies don't even want to give you insurance.
So high, yo. It's so high. It makes no sense.
Like, I tried to book like a 2 Chainz, for example, at one of these arenas, and they declined it. And I'm just like, so with that being said, it's like, well, how do people supposed to, what are we supposed to do? And I see a question from Gina. She say, how do you adjust to the low bookings and people not coming out as much? What opportunities do you focus on in the meantime? Well, I do event planning and event promotions, and I try also to try and help artists any way I can Like how Yoko try to give directions, like make sure your paperwork right, make sure this is right, so and so. I try and do meet and greets for artists. I do listening suites for them, single releases, album releases. So I try to, like, make my money on the back end. So that's what I do. When it comes to the low bookings, like it may be an artist that may be dropping a single, but then again, there you go. You have artists that don't want to pay for that. They don't have the budget for it. So it's like I don't can't even explain it right now. I've just been trying to make it do what it do. And then I seen Joseph said, what about South by, is that South by Southwest? I have not had the opportunity to attend that, but I know this year and even the previous years, they did numbers this year. A lot of artists was out there. It was a lot of artists that was hungry. They went out there, they served their purpose. They had their merch, they had their music. I follow TJ's DJs. Any artist that's on this call, everyone should be following TJ Chapman. He gives good information. He's one of the hardest working managers that I have ever worked with to this day. He manages Trap Beckham and ISO Candy and B.O.B. at this current moment. And he used to manage K Camp when he was at his top. But I followed him and they went to like 18, 19 different shows within those 3 or 4 days. So when it comes to the artists, it's no breaks in this. Like you have to be consistent. You have to keep going and you have to be strategic with everything you do. And your management, if you do have a manager, they got to be on the same type of time you on. I don't spoke enough. I'm sorry.
You gotta have something to manage to have a manager, though. But we ain't even gonna get into all that because
oh Jesus Lord,
that's gonna hurt some people's feelings. But I don't want to hurt nobody.
I want to say something to Nichole. I know you were saying like the internet. You can meet people people you couldn't meet before through social media. But I love social media, but I feel they also have handicapped the artists a lot. Like they're not grinding anymore. I don't see artists going to pass not CDs. Well, people don't have CDs, but thumb drives. Like I think social media has handicapped the industry a lot.
I could see that. It's not perfect by any stretch.
Yeah.
It's, I think, more of it doesn't replace being out there in person.
Yeah.
At all. And I think we see that a lot. I know that there's been artists that have blown up on TikTok and then don't actually draw people, at least locally.
At all. And they want $100,000.
Yeah. So there's definitely a disconnect there in terms of booking shows and who's going to show up to your show.
Exactly.
But I do love it for the ability to connect with artists all over the world.
Yes.
But like it's the conversion that it brings that could bring the win, if you would. So if you can get somebody to like you on TikTok and then they can convert over and be an actual fan or purchase something or start rocking when it comes to the music, that's when it feel like it's valuable. But now, even just thinking about this out loud, this makes me wonder if folks like these labels like Universal, if they didn't see the value or the conversion that some of these people were getting as far as their TikTok popularity to the actual money type thing. Maybe that's the reason why they've been pulling everything off for Joya. What you feel about this? I'm a conspiracy theorist at the same time. So I've always been trying to figure out like what's going on, man.
No, I'm with you, but I don't know if you saw that it came out today that Universal is doing a 10-year deal with Scooter Braun's company, which is Hype.
Yeah.
Right. So Hype has the new superfan platform, right? So everybody that's over at UMG right now, they will be part of the 10-year deal, right? So whatever they're getting ready to do with artists in the superfan platform, then those artists that are signed to Universal right now, they'll be a part of, you know what I'm saying, like that integration. Also, I feel like for the past 2 years, a lot of stuff that we've been seeing with TikTok, with the other companies, I know Hybe used to be a K-pop label, right? It's like, I think that when you're getting ready to do joint ventures and acquisitions, you start looking at the bottom line and you start moving things around so that you can, you know what I'm saying, shore up some revenue and make some moves. So I think they probably had taken a look at everything that was going out and they were like, okay, we're gonna get lean, we're gonna trim some fat because we're gonna need that money for this deal. Cause you know, they don't want to find themselves on the other side of progress either.
Mhm.
So I feel like what we're seeing right now with TikTok, I think TikTok just was in beast mode, if I'm being honest. Because for more than a year, the label was asking them like, pay out, like pay out.
Mhm.
You guys have seen a significant, I'm talking about the money that TikTok was seeing was so crazy. I mean, the billions of dollars. And it's like, you're not going to give anything over? Is this for real? I mean, and it was like a hold almost. Like they were like, no, we're not. We said it and we said no, and we're not going to change it. So I guess Universal felt like, oh, well, okay, because we've waited a long time for y'all guys, so we just gonna start pulling. We're gonna just start. I guess this is the game we playing, so we're gonna start pulling. But then also too, while we're pulling, we're gonna make this migration, and we'll see how you like it, because the 10-year deal that Universal just did with Scooter Braun's company does not include YouTube, does not include Meta, does not include Facebook, which is Meta, and does not include TikTok.
I wonder, is that why a couple of my songs on TikTok got removed the other day? I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I
They
barely
might have
be
got
on
swept
TikTok.
up.
Yeah, I barely be on that one on there today. And I'm like, well, dog, three of my songs is gone. Like, you can't even pull it up. Like Ciara, Chris Brown's, a couple of them, you cannot pull it up. You can't even hear an instrument of it.
Yeah, you're gonna see
not
a lot
available.
of changes because they're gonna have to start migrating. So you're gonna see a lot of changes. But yeah.
I even seen after the TikTok thing, so now Universal has their own music library that people can subscribe to. So if you want to use music from Universal, you could pay like $10 a month and get access to all of their stuff. So it's like once Universal, to me, once they realized, again, it was almost like fixing a bleed, right? If we not gonna make no money with this, we just gonna cut this whole thing off, and now we gotta find a different way to flip it. On top of that, like have is K-pop, right? K-pop and J-pop, which is by far like some of the most popular, not only popular, but lucrative music right now, because their fans are always spending money. You feel me? Like they had a stat that came out from Luminate, I feel like last year, from their last year report, that was like out of almost 50% of the K-pop fans, regardless of how much merch drops, they're asking for more merch. So if they drop a t-shirt on Monday, by Tuesday, they bought it. By Wednesday, they're asking for something more.
Ridiculous. Absolutely.
Money is flowing crazy. So it's like, okay, fight TikTok, who won't pay us out, or link up with a whole nother demographic for 10 years and just going on to get that paper from over there for. So it's and that's only Universal for like, look at all these other labels that's restructuring. Capital just restructured for somebody else just merged and restructured. Atlantic started cutting and trimming the fat again. So it's like, the model that everybody was using before is about to change for real. The business model is changing overall for everybody. And it's like, if people don't keep up, part of what's getting trimmed off for real. And that's why everybody not making that paper for real, because they holding on to the paper because they saying it's not flowing how it used to. The evolution of streaming and the digital age, and people are starting to going back to pop the trunk for real. Like, most cars don't have CD players. People are still selling CDs. The artists just got to realize that they can go back to that vibe. Vinyl's up again 17% this year for real to make some of the most money in the industry. And most of the people, I think it was only 4.1 people actually owned the record player. So people are buying physical stuff for the sake of just saying, I have something tangible that belongs to this artist. How many of these artists won't make tangible stuff right now, though?
They don't think it's needed. They solely depend on social media.
Absolutely.
Social platforms. And
getting stuck behind the DSPs that's paying us 0.0003 cents. So, you know what I'm saying? We can be creating direct-to-consumer situations, or going back to, again, popping the trunk, selling the CD, $5 a piece type thing. And $5 going to actually go back to you for you might have a little overhead, but you done made how much off one CD, and you going to make on how many streams? Crazy.
Yep.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. So looking ahead in this music industry, because we all know it's about to get crazier. What are some things y'all hope to see improvement with in this industry? Not only overall for the industry, but also maybe one or two things specifically for the ladies.
I want to see artists be more diverse. I think for such a long time, some of the things that keep us sort of like in this box where we see everybody else getting rich around us and we are struggling, but we are the ones that are providing the art. I want to see artists be more diverse in their careers, like what they offer, because most creatives are multi-hyphenate, which means they're not only good at one thing, right? It's cool to get in the studio. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Do your music, do your touring, but you could do other things too. You know what I'm saying? Like we have these platforms, like I was saying, like with YouTube and all of that, it's like, it's still the wild, wild west. So take advantage of it because we're going to see changes there too. You know, so that's what I would like to see. And I would like to see that because I want the model to change so it's not a norm that we don't have healthcare. There's a lot of money flowing. That's the last thing we should be worried about. We have to get these emails from the Grammys or the Recording Academy to say, hey, free dental clinic or free eye clinic or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because they know a lot of music creatives don't have healthcare. So I just want to see better business decisions for us. And I want to see us taking advantage of just being more diverse in what we offer so that we could get more money in our pockets.
I love that. Anything that brings more paper, I'm here for it.
Thanks.
Ciara, Nichole, anything
I want to see more artists focus on the children. You know, the babies, the youth, that's my thing. So more community giving, supporting, like how Money Long went to the school, Keisha Cole showed up at the school, Offset showed up at the school. I want to see more of that in 2024 because you know our kids are our future. So if we don't focus on them while they're young and they are looking up to people, once they get established and get to that, you know, get to a certain age, they are who they are. But I really would like to see more artists, anybody music wise, focus more on our youth.
Absolutely agree. Nichole?
I mean, if I could pick anything, honestly, it'd be more understanding from both industry and fans and other musicians of mental health, and not in a really performative, let's post about our mental health, but in an action-based way. I think it's been fantastic that we've been able to talk about our struggles more publicly, and that's become acceptable. I think it's now time for the next step.
Yes.
Like, what does that actually mean? Not just, you know, truth booking and talking about it for that almost starts feeling like it's for the likes and the engagement without any real hard actions behind it.
That's true. It's like all the kids want to die. They can't wait to, I don't even know. Like one thing Big always say, y'all act like y'all about to die and go to Disney World. Or you act like you died and you're gonna come back next week. Like I don't understand why are we pushing death and don't want to be here. Like no, like we need to. Okay, you don't talk about it now. What you're gonna do to fix it?
Definitely. I feel like that comes from honestly like lack of resources, but that all goes back to getting back into our community, figuring out what does the community need, making it safe for people in the community to be able to say this is what I need help with and X, Y, and Z. But none of that's not going to happen if we don't get back to the root of everything and actually having these conversations first and foremost. But most people, and this is what I want to see from artists, is also seeing them get back in the community a little bit more as well, right? So I think if they hit all three of these different things with being not necessarily transparent about their own mental health, because everybody has their own journey, but taking care of themselves a little bit better, right? So if half these artists took care of themselves mental health wise, right, and then got in their community, and again, not necessarily having to be the spokesperson or whatever, but I don't think that a lot of us, especially artists, realize that we have these platforms and we can actually do some things that are really positive with them. And it took me even realizing to this year with some stuff that I got going on. I think Ciara, you'd be mad proud. I'm actually building a writing camp down at the Boys and Girls Club right now. And I'm in the middle of speaking with the Recording Academy. So we're hopefully going to do our volunteer day down there. And then another fellow Recording Academy member, I kind of gave him a tidbit about it. He called me a couple of days ago, like, yo, I got a $10,000 grant so we can go buy studio equipment for the kids. Like, let's really go do it type thing. But I'm like, it took all of this kind of happening for me to be like, wow, if I wouldn't have just went and sat down with the director of the Boys and Girls Club and just say, like, what do you need? What do the kids need and how do we make it cool? And she says, they need this, they need this, they need that. All right. How do we make it cool for the kids? If we wouldn't have did that, we wouldn't have known that there was a need for mental health stuff. I wouldn't have known that half the kids are only reading on the 3rd grade level. So we got to make a way for them to read and make it cool type thing. We didn't know that, okay, she got a studio down there and there's some stuff, but we need some more. But if I find an excuse to do something, she'll keep it open later on the weekends, which means these kids not going to be in the streets type thing, right? So it's like, it takes us having to go back and use the platforms and the networks that we have to be able to say, hey, Recording Academy folks, my kids down here need some MIDI boards, and I don't really know what that need, but that's what they say they need, and I need you to help me get it type thing. And then for somebody to be like, bet, I got, here, go buy 10 of them. It's like, you got to get back to that situation, but it's also being transparent with yourself and being like, when I was a kid, I ain't had no situation like that. I didn't start learning music stuff till I was, you know what I'm saying, 16. If somebody would have gave me a keyboard when I was 6, life could have been totally different. So I agree with all three of you guys' points, and I feel like putting them all together could be the change that is needed in like almost every community, regardless of where they at, location-wise, you know, what's going on society-wise. That's what's needed, I feel like, just in the world for real, because everybody need love. Everybody need help with their mental health. Everybody need to be able to be transparent and safe way to actually get that out. We're hiding so much, especially in the music industry. Everybody lives a double life because nobody wants to know what they really got going on and what they really stressing with. And it's like, what if we all could just be ourselves and we all just help each other being ourselves? And how much easier could, you know, life be for everybody else? And I might just be dreaming, but I'm like, listen, this is what I, you know, want to see in life for real. And hopefully with people who are like yourselves on the panel, and even like everybody who's in here tonight or watching this later on the replay, it just takes a start and it just takes a conversation to be able to say, let's make some changes versus just talking about it and tweeting about it. We got to put boots on the ground and make some things actually happen.
Absolutely. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you. Let me know when it's time for me to pull up, because I want to pull up on that.
I got you. I'm doing a couple things for real. I'm gonna text you everything, because even me thinking about it is like, I don't even understand how I got into some of these situations to make it happen, but
it was meant for you.
I got so much homework to do and so much stuff I gotta learn, y'all, but it feels so good to be able to make this happen for the kids. So this is dope. And I appreciate y'all too. So we getting closer to the end, and I want to start wrapping a little bit, if you would. That way we can do a Q&A. Ciara, I know you got to slide a little bit early, so I want to make sure you give your little last remarks before we have time. But I want to ask, because again, I feel like everybody on this panel, in my eyes, is esteemed. You guys have accomplished some great things. And I want to give everybody an opportunity, if you would, to kind of brag about just an opportunity or a situation that they're proud of in their career. It can be a moment, it can be a project, it can be a client. Just give us one moment that you are extremely proud of just yourself. Nichole, you want to start?
Sure. I think in the vein of everything I've just talked about with mental health and stuff, I've been really proud of being able to adjust the way I interact with my music career, with the lens of having been diagnosed with ADHD and autism in the past 2 years. And that's been a really big change, and it's been for the better, but it hasn't always been graceful. So I'm proud of getting through it and continuing to work through it.
Major congratulations for that. Joya, what's something that you feel like you are proud of, whether it's career-wise, personal-wise, client, project, and you've been with some vets too.
You know what? I have, and I have so many moments to be thankful for. I'm always grateful. I try to stay in a state of gratitude every single day. I always say I'm just a girl from Southwest Detroit who just had dreams. And part of my purpose inside of this music industry is to make my community better because I was here. And so I received an email from a young lady, and you know this, Jay, I have a lot of people who reach out to me, and we're just kind of like, we've grown this relationship with each other. We're not working together, but it's a relationship. And so she said that her and her husband, they had some struggles in their business. I won't give her information. I'll just let that remain anonymous. But she was saying that I had given out grant information and that they were able to apply and get the grant, and it actually helped them in their business. And I just sat on my computer and just wept. Really, a lot of times it's not about the bottom line. It's not about the revenue. You know, it's not about that. I love the fact that we can make an impact. Because I had a lot of people in this business to make a positive impact on me. And so that's what I'm most proud about, that email, most proud about the mentorships. Those are the things that make me really proud. That the money is a byproduct, it's good. I'm not gonna lie about that. We all need it. But that is what makes my heart happy.
I got goosebumps just from hearing that, yo. So like I can only imagine reading it would have had me bawling somewhere, man. Congratulations, and just thank you for putting that energy out and providing that help for people and providing that knowledge for her. Because I know I can definitely feel you when I feel like sometimes we be posting and nobody be paying attention until you get that email and it's like, oh, I just needed that one. I just needed that one. So congratulations to you, sis. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Thank you for always helping the people, regardless if we worrying about follow accounts and likes or none of that. We just post just to post and it's working. So don't stop posting, please, sis. Please post more now, if anything.
Thank you, man. Thank you for being a light. Like Ciara said, you're a light, and that's real talk. You were one of the first people to reach out to me and say yes. And so I just want you to know I keep that close to my vest. There are only a handful of you. So nobody knows how, we struggle when we're trying to get our businesses off the ground. So forever when you call, I'll be here.
Likewise. CC, what's something you're proud of your career, whether it's personal career, whether it's your new journey that you just took on, that you literally spoke into existence? What's something you're proud of?
I'm proud of my current, I'm gonna say I'm proud of everything. The losses and the wins. Because I would not be where I'm at right now if it wasn't for the losses. But currently right now, I really enjoy my position. Working with Essence is a true blessing. I went there in 2019, and one of my mentors when I was a little girl was like, Essence need you. I'm like, Essence, like they need you. You need to tell them to hire you. And I'm like, I didn't think that big. I didn't realize like Essence, like they don't need me. I'm a girl from Duval County. What they gonna do with me? But we jumped to 4 or 5 years later, and I kept trying to apply for different positions, and they wasn't for me. But God shifted that, and I'm very happy where I'm at right now. I'm learning a lot of things. I'm making a lot of connections. I'm making connections that can help my nonprofit, which is my #1 priority for the babies right now. So I'm just happy where I'm at right now. And one other thing that I can always say that I am very thankful for is leaving Jacksonville, Florida, to come to Orlando. It was the best decision I ever made in my life. That changed my life. Making that one decision, shifting from what you know and what you comfortable comfortably uncomfortable,
Mhm.
you know, that's for anybody. Like, you know, sometimes you just got to just leave your comfort zone, and God's gonna make the way. Don't worry about the ways. Don't worry, don't worry about the whys, the who's, the what's gonna happen, when it's gonna happen. He's gonna make it work for you. As long as you work, you pray, and you manifest it, you got it. It's gonna be yours.
I love that. I love that. And I love it even more from being able to like literally witness you. I remember you sending texts like, nah, sis, I don't think. I'm like, nah, yo, that's you, bro. That's you. And I remember you sending texts like, I gotta go out there this weekend and I got an interview. And I'm just like, yo, it's yours. Say it's yours type thing. And you literally typing back like, okay, sis, it's mine. It's mine. I'm gonna do it. And then seeing now, and it's like, yo, you did it for real. Like you literally
Yeah.
said this is what you wanted to do years ago, and then you really like just put in the work to make it happen. So I love being able to see, as you see, I love seeing my homies win as well, for real, because that's a win to me. Just being able to see them elevate, that motivates me, because now I'm like, damn, CC manifested this. Like maybe I need to look bigger into certain things for real, and it. But you know, it motivates me, and that's where I'm at now in certain situations. I'm like, all right, well, how much bigger we gonna get now type thing, and it keeps going. So I absolutely love that for all of y'all. It's just it's growth, and it makes me excited to see more women, especially in this industry, happy in what they're doing and happy as far as accomplishing their dreams and providing value for themselves, providing health for themselves in whatever way. Like it's back to having control. I feel like as women sometimes it's just harder for real, for real. So to be able to see women like, nah, I'm doing it. It's easy. I'm winning. I'm getting what I need and what I want. It's like, yes, finally. So before
Yeah.
we move into Q&A, before CC got a slide, each one of you all have brands. This is your time to please push your brand. Tell us where we can find you, websites, what services you offer. These are mostly artists, managers, producers, people in the music industry. So if you have certain things catered to them, please let us know how they can get in contact with you, how they can book you, how they can work with you, how you can help them, how they can stay in contact with you, everything and above. This is your time to completely brag on what you do. You're here for a reason. Tell them why they need you. Let's start with CC.
Uh, Um, like I say, I do some of everything. So, like, you know, my favorite thing to do for artists is listening suites. I love when an artist drop new music and they just want to just get it out there and tell people to come support them. That's like probably my favorite thing to do. So any artists that need listening suites, which can be, we can talk and I can tell you the 3 different ones we can do. I'm your go-to person for that. Anything youth related, y'all have something going on that I need to pull up to, I'm going to pull up for the babies. Of my social media, thank you, Jay, MISSEP_Ciara. And that's about it. I do everything. My favorite playground is the background.
Okay, so CC being modest, so I'm gonna keep going on her right real quick, right? So once you do the listening suites, and this is who I go to for my listening suites, and I'm not just saying it to be funny, but I've literally called multiple clients and I've said we need to go to CC, and that's the only person we go with. But also on the booking side, right? There are certain, how can I say this politically correct? Sometimes you need a spokesperson who can professionally book you. This is also where CC comes in. There are sometimes, but you don't need to be on the other side of that phone with certain situations are coming in. You don't know the questions to ask. You don't know how to professionally answer them. And sometimes you're not going to know what these questions even mean. This is where I always like to tell people there are specialists for a reason. Let them do their job. So when it comes to not only listening suites, but trying to get into different communities, working with the DJs, working with the tastemakers, the promoters, this is what we go to CC for. I can't call every DJ. I can send them a text and I can say, hey, we having this event, and they're going to look at it. It's going to be cool. CC going to send the same exact text and they're going to actually pull up for real, right? So it's also about relationships as well. So I know she being modest and she, being humble, but CC do a lot more than that when it comes to also just getting you into these different rooms that we can't get in. There have been plenty of times where CC is like, Jay, I'm going to this event. Come pull up. I don't know these people. I literally at the door and they like, what you here for? I got a text. CC told me to come. cool, you're in type thing, right? So it's access and it's ability, and this is where different people's networks come in. So yes, she can help you get books, she can help you with your suite, but the relationships that she have overall are priceless. And when you start networking with different people and working with different people and paying different people for what they do, you also get access to their network as well. So I just wanted to add them 2 cents myself, because you do a lot more than what you say. But again, I know this personally because this is who I work with, and this is who is on my team, and this is who I rely on when it comes to got a new artist, got some new booking stuff, I need to make some moves, I need to get in some cities that I don't have access to. I use my team. So
Appreciate you. I need to learn how to sell my stuff like that.
don't worry, I'm gonna tell you, you gonna push the artist, and we're gonna work with each other. I might have a new one coming your way soon too.
Okay, I'm ready.
Let's do it. Nichole, Joya, whoever want to go next, push everything. Let everybody know why they need you, how they can find you, and what you do for the artist.
All right. Well, as an artist, everything I do is under NicholeWagnerMusic.com. But the reason I'm here today is because I started a resource to connect women in music and connect women in music to the guys in music and people who own studios or are looking for booking recording sessions, side players and so forth. And that resource is morewomeninmusic.com. We just changed the name this morning, so a couple things are maybe a little bit wonky. It was previously bookmorewomen.org, and just to make some separation between another resource that it's existing, we went with morewomeninmusic.com. And it's free to sign up, free to use.
Perfect. And all these links, I'm going to make sure that I normally send a recap email for those who didn't come. I will be sure to include all of you all's links. If anybody has, specials, deals, events they want to know to push out, send it to me as well, and I'll make sure that that is included. Miss Joya, let them know why they need you.
So why you need me is because I was a starving artist, because I came into this industry as a recording artist signed to UMG, but I understand what it's like to be known and have nothing. So the business side is where you can come see me. If you're interested in developing your business acumen, if you want to expand, if you want to understand about sync, if you want to understand about publishing, if you want to understand about them splits, if you want to understand how to collaborate, how to get you for commercials, you have to broaden your horizons. Well, that's where I come in, because I had to go down to the bottom of the barrel. And when I mean the bottom, I'm talking about P-O, not P-O-O-R. Okay. So I understand what it's like, but I also understand what it's like to see six figures in this business too. And that's because I had to get my mind right. And that's because I had to get serious about what it was that I was doing. So if you're interested in that, we're having a free workshop. The workshop is on May 1st. We go live in our community on April 29th. And you can just DM me the word work and sign up for the free workshop, and we'll talk to you about business development.
Definitely make sure y'all at the workshop. I'm going to the workshop. I don't know about y'all. So,
please come.
I'm in there like swimwear. That's what I'm pulling it up now. Like, all right, let me go on, put it on my calendar and RSVP immediately.
You are in there. Don't even worry about it. Your spot is good.
Secure me. Ladies, I appreciate y'all so much. I just want to give them an opportunity. Maybe if we got some questions. Cece, I know you got a slide. You all good.
It's okay. I can stay for a few minutes. The boys, I'm about to take them to dinner. They okay.
King birthday today, y'all.
And it's my son. He got his whole crew over here and invited people that I don't even know. Like, I'm not paying for all these kids, but it is what it is.
So if anybody who may be in here now has questions for any of the ladies about what they do, some experience, anything, feel free to raise your hand. We'll bring you up. And we can go from there. Okay, Bree, I see you. Bree, if you want to come on camera, you can. We'll pull you up. If you just want to do vocals, how you want to do it, Bree?
I'm here.
All right.
I'm so grateful to be here. Yes. I got my little pad and everything. I got my
Let's
questions
do
ready.
it. Let's do it.
So yes, thank you all for being here and giving your time to us and allowing us to just soak up your knowledge. My question is on the side of grants. So backstory, I've been in the grant cycle for my music. Man, I would say I've been really trying, like really going hard for the past 9 months. Like just this month, I would say I probably applied for like between 50 and 100,000 for myself. And I haven't heard back from everything yet. Some yeses, some nos. But what I think I'm struggling to capture a bit in these applications is the separation between artists, like a person, and business as an entity and company. I understand the value of starting a label, being like signing to yourself, and I'm moving those steps towards signing myself to myself with under the brand Top Hat Productions as my label name. But I'm kind of like in this space of like when you're an independent person, you can only apply for like smaller grants, like 1,000 here, 2,000 here. But when you have a company, you can apply for bigger money. So my question is, sorry if I'm being long-winded, but I like to be thorough in my ask. I wrote down what type of value should be added to strengthen a grant application as an artist and a label founder. How can I attract the grantor to grant me the grant, the grant, if you will, because I'm resilient. Like I'm I take no's on the chin, but it's like I really need a win. So yeah, thank you.
So I feel like Joy, you probably have way more experience grant wise, just because you always providing them for folks. So I'll let you go first, and then I'll sprinkle a little bit of what I know on my side on there as well.
Sure, absolutely. So number one, I have to salute you because I know it is hard. It's tough, but so two things. One, as great as the message is, I think that like with everything, there's a formula for grant writing too, right? That's why we have grant writers out there. So a lot of times you can just dip in somebody's DM and just ask them, hey, do you have tips? Do you have a free download? 9 times out of 10, they do. But I would say, moreover than anything, when you were right in what you said, that you can apply for grants as an artist, but when you apply for it as a small business, that's talking about something different and probably more money, absolutely. But now, what is the vision of the business, and will it align with the grantor? Because the other thing you have to consider is that the people that are giving you the money, they really want a partnership and not like a one handoff. It's kind of like, think of it like 10,000 small businesses with Goldman Sachs, right? Or what is it? 10,000. It's look up Goldman Sachs. They have a program, but and Ally has a program too. A lot of financial institutions have those grants. They have programs where they give you 15K or 20K to get started, but they also want to be invested in a partnership. But I think the partnership or the ask or the verbiage, right, the way you communicated it when you're applying, has to be in line with like community values, and that, you know what I'm saying, you'll be around for a while, right? And they can see it flourish and grow. But Jay, I'll let you take it from here. I hope that helps, Bree.
I feel like that was
Thank you.
the pretty much the same thing I was going to say as far as community values. From what I've seen from a lot of grants is, okay, we're going to give you this money, but aside from spending it, of course, what else are you going to do with it? What value are you going to provide? What seed is going to be planted? How can we work further? Definitely heavy on the how can this not be a one-off situation? And being able to not only prove it, but having a plan always helps with anything. I feel like from grants to investors, like I tell a lot of my artists who are always like, I want an investor. And I'm like, if somebody walked up to you today and said they was going to give you $50,000, what are you doing with it? And the first thing they go is, and I said, well, I would never invest in you because I don't even know how I'm getting it back. Now I got other kids that'll pull up and say, okay, now when this money drops, this is what I'm going to do. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. This is how I plan on giving some back to my investor. This is what I want to do for ROI. This is how I want to invest this amount. That way I can just let this kind of go, right? Those are the people who they're like, you can have my money type thing. So I think with making sure that whatever you're doing with the grant, some types of way provides value for the grantor, and like they said, whatever their mission might be, and also making sure that once that money drops, you can show them a tangible plan of what you have to be able to say, this is what I'm going to do once this money comes, and this is how I'm going to provide value in X, Y, and Z. And from there, I feel like anybody will be more willing to kind of let that money go, if you would.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely, absolutely. Great question too. Any other questions before we slide out of here? Questions, comments, concerns, church announcements? Anybody? Oh, let me check the chat first. Wait a minute. Okay, follow socials. We dropping socials. Bree raising hand. Come on back, Bree.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like trying to create like a new genre, if you will. It's not, well, let me back up. Not create, but maybe bring a bigger scope to a genre called neo swing. It's kind of like new age big band, if you will. But I'm just trying to put a little Maryland sauce on it, a little go-go influences here and there, you know. And what I'm kind of finding, DMV all day, what I'm kind of finding hard in my quest of creating music is finding collaborators who play music, like who are active in jazz. Like, it's kind of one of the things, like you go on BeatStars and you try to invest in yourself and buy something, and it's like, man, I'm having a hard time finding something that I can make something too. I'm feeling like, kind of like, as an artist, everybody's on either a drill or like a Summer Walker or like those type of sounds, and I feel like I've kind of been stagnant in my career because I've had a hard time finding collaborators. So my question is, like, what is your advice to find your people to create something new?
Nichole or Joya, if you all want to go first, and then I'll go after.
I mean, morewomeninmusic.com is a great place.
That's the plug I wanted.
And outside of that, really, I find the most fulfilling collaborations by casting a pretty wide net. I send a lot of completely cold emails. I book a tribute show here in Austin every year, and I've committed to myself to have 50% new artists each year, and so that's at least 10 new people that I've never met. And I'm inviting them to learn a cover song by a folk artist, and a lot of these are not folk musicians. So I just get over the idea that I'm going to hear no a lot or no answer, and stay persistent and just use all the hashtags on social media to search for people and then reach out directly.
That's a good one, Nichole. Use hashtags. I love that. Also, too, just to piggyback on what she said, I'm a hip hop head, but I actually love folk. Do you know what I'm saying? So if someone invited me for collaboration, I'd be like, hell yeah. So don't be afraid to invite other people in.
That.
Also, too, back to the hashtag. So what I know is, and going back, this is a full circle conversation. Have you created your small business? Have you created your label as of yet, Bree?
I have the EIN. I don't have the DUNS number, and I'm actually in a Brent Fayez grant application. I'm hoping I get it. If not, it's okay. But he has a startup grant for Black women starting business. So it's
Okay.
kind of like not a rob Peter to pay Paul, but it's kind of like, okay, I'm in this grant for the startup. I'm in this grant for the application. I'm in this grant for the beats. Like I'm doing everything I can, I guess, on the paperwork side. So yes to that question as far as like website and logo and
Okay.
EIN number.
Okay.
No on like I have copyright and all that. All my music is copyrighted, all that. But
Got it.
as far as like the trademark application and all those things, the
You
ducats
still
aren't there
gotta,
yet.
that's pending.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
pending. Yep, got it. So what I was gonna say was, because you could use that to have collaborative efforts with ASCAP, with a BMI, with a CSAC, where you do a writers camp, invite their people in. They love it, right? Everything belongs to you all. I do it all the time. I'm the queen of, like, make something happen with who you never know. I mean, I'm ASCAP, but I will call CSAC and ask them for their writers. We can get in a camp. It could be virtual. Do you know what I'm saying? And then you can introduce your, okay, so I'm dropping it on you right now, right? So introduce your music. That way you keep your masters, right? And then have them just collaborate with you. So you have a whole bunch of collaborators. Everybody keeps their publishing and you maintain your masters. Okay, but I hope that, and then there's a larger conversation. DM me if you need any more information. Thank you.
I think the last thing I'll add on that is just, especially being in the DMV, it's gonna sound real wild, right? As a person who used to be in marching band, find everybody who used to be in bands. Whether it's marching bands, whether it's go-go bands, they all know how to play for real, for real. So go find what's his name? Nucci got a whole platform right now where they're playing live music and they're bringing all the artists on. Okay, they might be busy. Who they friends that also play for real, for real. So for me, anytime that I see somebody like with an instrument, I'm trying to figure out like, where you from, what you do. Okay, let's get info because I might need you type thing. And I've also seen how the collaborative effort of just kind of like jamming out create some of the best hits in the world, right? So I'm out here in Orlando, and I got a crew of homies called Luxury Lane Library. Shout out to them, right? It's the Luxury Lane Library themselves are like 4 or 5 producers. They all play something different. Blizz plays guitar, Swaby plays keys, Icy's more of like the DJ producer. You got Phil that's on bass, right? So they're a band all together. On top of that, when it comes to the actual artists who all write, they all write on each other's stuff. So you can hear one artist's song and hear 7 different people's voices because they all just rock together. And it's like, all right, you need vocals on this? I got this. You need background on that? I got this. You need a different version of this done, because they all work collaboratively. Not only is it some of the best music I've ever heard, but numbers wise, it shows. Out of that crew, within the last 6 months, we've had at least 6 songs hit over 1 million. With not no crazy ads, no none of this stuff. Isaiah Falls just hit top 50 viral on Spotify for dropping a song called Florida Baby that they all worked on. That I can literally know. I know whose backgrounds that is. That's Flozic background. I know him. Tally wrote that part. He wrote, but as a crew, they all win it for real, for real. So not only find people who like collaborating, which you can find not only, again, writers camps, figure out who's doing jam sessions in the DMV, find out when band practices and pull up on them and be like, yo, this what I need, but if y'all need help with something too, like I'll sing on y'all track real quick if y'all can help me do X, Y, and Z. But finding people who already are in that groove of not only live music, but collaborative. That's going to be an easy way for you to find the people that you need to work with, but that's also going to give you different opportunities because they already are in certain circles. So cool, you might have to go, it started off just trying to find a band, but now you might be having a little residency where you can get you some paper in your pocket and expose yourself. And okay, you might be doing covers right now, but I get to slide 2 or 3 of my own in for real, and push my own music for real. So on top of, again, using the resources with different PROs, using the platform that Nichole already built. So if you literally need a musician, you can literally type in, this is what I need, X, Y, and Z, and going on to make it happen. But then also using the people in your community networking with them. Don't sleep on stuff like high school bands, for real, for real. Don't sleep on these schools that are specialties, because people like to collaborate. So you go to a middle school and you start doing a project with them, teaching them about the music that you create. And next thing you know, you go to whoever the band director is, and they are doing an ensemble around you, and you are recorded, and you just got to give the school credit, not even percentages, but they just want to be able to use it so they can say, we did this song type thing. Like, you just got to look outside the box. And for me, I always figure out where people playing at. Schools, orchestras. They got they have a Dr. Phillips Center down here where they do a lot of live symphony stuff. I made friends with all of them. I literally wait for a show and go stand outside and just be like, what you play, bro? I don't want nothing. I just was trying to find more people that actually play live music. It's like, well, what are you doing? Next thing you know, it's like, I know 7 people that play a trumpet. I don't need a trumpet for nothing, but you never know when you're going to need it type thing. So use what you're in the DMV. Like, you got some of every, it's a melting pot there. Use the city.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Somebody say you can find musicians at church too. Or you definitely can find you a good drummer in the church, for real, for real. Any other questions before I let these ladies go for the evening? Questions, comments, concerns, church announcements? Going once? Going twice? Yeah, church announcements, bro. Some people want to, you know, I got a new project coming out. I got a cousin that got something going on, whatever. See, I'm finna crank it off for the church announcements first, okay, right? So May 4th, if anybody who might be in the Orlando area or who might want to jump on a plane to come down here, I'm speaking on the Music Placement Conference, which is a conference that is solely about sync licensing, getting sync licensing, meeting different people in the sync world. Yeah, y'all should pull up. Sync licensing is very lucrative, and I know a lot of people don't quite know a lot about it, but there's a lot of money in it, and I want more people to know about it. I want more artists to know about it. I want more urban artists specifically to know about it. So if you know a friend who needs to be in sync, you should pull up. Also, shameless plug, Marcus the Fingers is in the room. That's like my cousin, for real, and he is one of the biggest people in the sync world. Ran I don't know how many panels at NAMM this year. Has just done a lot of stuff. Listen, follow him, be in his world, check him out. Oh, he's pulling up to Atlanta. So the Music Business Conference in May is also doing one in Atlanta, the Sync Spotlight. Marcus is going to be on that panel. So Atlanta, Florida, that whole kind of circuit. If you're trying to get into the sync world, we got some resources for you. So make sure y'all check it out. Marcus, you should definitely link up with Joya, because Joya, you in Atlanta, right? So yeah, make sure y'all make friends and make that happen, because I already can see how crazy that can go. Ladies, again, I want to thank you for being on this panel. If you have any closing remarks, a piece of advice that you might have for anybody in the industry, let them know. Give them a little words of wisdom. And we're going to go on to bed, y'all.
What was that, Jay? Can you repeat that?
Any last remarks, last plugs, words of wisdom you want to leave people with? And then we're going to get on out of here.
I would just say to anybody out there that's really struggling right now, and you may be just kind of ready to count it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, do something else. You've been at it a long time. It's not working and you feel like it's not going to pop. Usually the change is just right on the other side, you know, of the struggle. It's like making it in this business and having success is a lot like working out and seeing that first, you know, the bulge in the ab, you know, it's like you're going to have to push that muscle past the point where it hurts, you know, and just stay encouraged, get still, you know, meditate, but just know that if the dream is in your heart and in your head, then you're headed in the right direction.
Love that, love that. Nichole, any last words, last remarks, words of wisdom, affirmations you want to leave people with?
I've got a new puppy.
Poppy.
I realize that is not industry related whatsoever, but this is Poppy, and I thought you guys should meet her. Yeah, sign up for morewomeninmusic.com. Encourage all the women in your life that are musicians to do that. It's better with more people on it. And I've got a record coming out in June, so combination of puppies and promo.
I like that. I like that quite a lot.
And thanks for having us do this. This is fantastic.
Absolutely. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate your time, your energy, your wisdom. I can't thank you all enough for just being here and sharing it with everybody. Everybody who came, I appreciate y'all. Everybody who might be watching this on your own time, I appreciate you all as well. Until next time, I actually should have the flyer for the third episode that we're doing on this in a couple of days, so that's gonna be exciting. I'm gonna shoot everybody an email so you all will have the links and the websites to each panelist and everything that they have going on. Please follow them, utilize their platforms, utilize the wisdom that they have in this industry. It's no reason for you to be lost when you have people who will give you the play. Just ask them a question, send them a DM, and get with them. Ladies, once again, thank you so much. I appreciate you all. I thank you everybody for coming. Y'all stay safe. And until next time, y'all, peace.